Well, was sentenced to 28 years in Peru, and the feeling is that eventually he's going to get out there, and then when he gets out, he'll be shipped back here if he's found guilty of these extortion charges against him in the U.S. Michael, the other play here is you get him here, and maybe he answers the question that the Holloways really want. Where's Natalee? And one would think that getting him here starts that potential. I don't know, but the worst case scenario is they get him on the extortion, but the best case scenario is they find out where their little girl was. Would be 36 now.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on this. I've been thinking about this case. So many people will admit responsibility to a crime they didn't do in order for attention. I'm not saying he did that here. He may have done that here. He may not have done that here. You know, we all watched, for example, the John Benet Ramsey case. You know, many people, many creeps said, hey, I did it, right? And they got arrested. They got their 15 minutes of fame, and then it turns out they were a fraud. Again, I'm not saying that that's what he did, but you don't know. So by bringing him here, they will be able to grill him and find out, hey, listen, you say you know where she is, we need to know where she is. And they have their ways of finding out what he really knows, right? And it'll come out of him. It'll take some time, but they'll find out from him whether or not he actually knows where she is. So let's just say he actually knows where she is. Let's just say he actually had a hand in her disappearance. Then the justice system did the right thing by bringing him here, because you don't trust the justice system of another country, a third world country, more than you trust your own self. He might get out of prison in Peru. He might disappear into the mountains. He might, get out on some sort of a technicality over there. But also there's a statute of limitations. So if you're talking about extortion, they don't have, 50 years to charge him. They've got to charge him now. But one thing I want to comment with respect to whether or not this is a wise use of the resources, what I always tell my clients is, the federal government is an irrational economic actor. When you are sued by a company or you're suing a company, you're suing a rational economic actor, whereas the government is an irrational economic actor, meaning the government will spend $7 billion to get a judgment against you for $1, if that's what they feel that's right, and if that's what they feel the rule of law demands them to do, because they're not a business, they're a government, they're an irrational economic actor. So when the government comes after you, there's no amount of money you can offer the government. There's no financial incentive that would stop the government from doing what they have to do. So they're an irrational economic actor, and you're seeing those wheels grind forward with this guy. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're just not looking at the resources. These are bureaucrats that are there, and they're doing the right thing, but they are there to exact the law, the rule of law, and they're not going to look at the resources. They're not paying the bills. The taxpayer are. The taxpayer is, and the taxpayers will hold them accountable if they make a mistake and don't prosecute this guy. He escapes into Peruvian hills, and they'll have to answer to us at that point. So that's my take on it. I completely disagree with it that we are equating the American system with the Peruvian system. The American system is better than the Peruvian system, but it is fallible. It does make mistakes, and you've brought up a great example of a mistake that our system has made.
A whole nother instance of escaping from prison. That wasn't what we were talking about. Escaping from prison was not anything that we were discussing. And so now you're putting in a whole nother component. We weren't talking about people's ability to escape from prison.
We were talking about whether or not it's economically viable, and the American government is an irrational economic actor. Those are facts. Those are not opinions.
I agree with you on that 100%. Okay.
Let's leave it there on a Friday.